Hello students, this is Ingrain. Welcome to the channel and welcome to the new video. Today we will continue chemical changes and reactions. In this chapter, you are expected to learn the concept of chemical change and chemical reaction, characteristic of chemical reaction, types of chemical reactions, energy changes in a chemical change, and factors affecting the rate of chemical change, which we have already covered in 3 different episodes in our previous videos. For all the new viewers, do watch all the videos to have a clear understanding of the chapter. And if you haven't subscribed the channel yet, do subscribe the channel and press the bell icon to get all the latest updates. At the end of each episode, we have given you a set of questions under self-check assessment to test your understanding. Hope you have attempted those self-check assessment. In this video, we will discuss the solutions of those questions to give you an insight about how to solve questions during an examination. Let's begin with self-check assessment of episode 1. The first question is, explain the term chemical reaction with a suitable example. When one or more reactants undergo a chemical change with liberation or absorption of energy leading to the formation of one or more new products, then the change is called chemical reaction. When calcium carbonate is subjected to heat, it forms calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. And when mercuric oxide is subjected to heat, it forms mercury and oxygen. So in both these cases, we see the reactants with the absorption of energy changes to completely new products. So this equations represents chemical reaction. The next question is, some chemical reactions involves a change in color of reactants and products. Give 2 examples to support this statement. Lead nitrate, which is white in color, if subjected to heat, it forms lead oxide, nitrogen dioxide and oxygen. This lead oxide is yellow in color. So we see there is a change of color of the reactants and the products. If we take hydrated copper sulfate, which is blue in color, and if we heat it, it forms anhydrous copper sulfate and 5 molecules of water. Now this hydrated copper sulfate is blue and the anhydrated copper sulfate is white in color. So both these cases shows that there is a change of color of the reactants and the products, which suits the above condition given. The next question is, represent the following reactions: double decomposition reaction and synthesis reaction. Double decomposition reaction is represented by A plus B minus plus C plus D minus gives A plus D minus plus C plus B minus, which shows a complete exchange of radicals, which is the main characteristics of double decomposition reaction. Next is synthesis reaction, which is also called direct combination reaction. It is represented by A plus B gives AB. That means when 2 elements or 2 compounds combine, they form a single product. With this, we complete the self-check assessment of episode 1. If you want to visit episode 1, please click on the link given on the screen. Let's proceed to the self-check assessment of episode 2. The first question of episode 2 is, give a balanced equation for a direct combination reaction that involves 2 elements, one of which is a neutral gas and the other is a monovalent metal. Let's recapitulate the direct combination reaction, which is also called synthesis reaction. It's a reaction in which 2 or more elements or compounds react to form a new compound, and it is represented by A plus B gives AB. Now the question is, they want 2 elements, one of which is a neutral gas and the other is a monovalent metal. So if we take the example of sodium and oxygen forming sodium oxide, it suits the above condition, that is, a neutral gas oxygen is taken and a monovalent metal sodium is taken. So this equation is completely suitable for this question. The next question is, define and represent displacement reaction. Give a reason why zinc displaces hydrogen from dilute sulfuric acid but copper does not. When an element displaces another element from a compound and takes its place, the reaction is called a displacement or substitution reaction, which is represented by A plus BC gives AC plus B. Here you can see that B is replaced by A. Now for the second part of the question, let's recapitulate the electrochemical series, which is a series of metals arranged in order of their reactivity. You can see the most reactive metals are at the top and the least reactive ones are at the bottom. Also you can observe that here it is hydrogen and zinc is located over here and copper is located just below hydrogen. Now we already know metals above hydrogen in the electrochemical series displaces hydrogen from dilute acids. Thus, as zinc is placed above hydrogen and copper is placed below hydrogen in the electrochemical series, zinc displaces hydrogen from dilute sulfuric acid but copper does not. If you want to clearly understand this electrochemical series, please visit the link given on the screen. The next question is, what happens when iron 3 chloride reacts with sodium hydroxide? Identify the type of reaction. When iron 3 chloride reacts with sodium hydroxide, an insoluble reddish-brown precipitate of iron 3 hydroxide is formed. That is, when FeCl3 reacts with 3NaOH, it forms 3NaCl and FeOH whole 3, which is a reddish-brown precipitate. This type of reaction is an example of double decomposition reaction, and as here we can get a precipitate, these reactions are also called precipitation reaction, which helps us to identify the positive radicals in a salt. Let's proceed to the next question, which says, give 2 applications of neutralization reaction. I hope you remember that when an acid reacts with a base, it forms salt and water. And as both the products are neutral to the litmus, this type of reactions are called neutralization reaction. So the 2 applications of neutralization reactions are, acidic soil is neutralized by using calcium hydroxide, and amsting contains formic acid, and to nullify its effect, moist baking soda is used, which is a base. So in both these cases we see an acid and base reacts. Thus, it fulfills the criteria of neutralization reaction. Let's proceed to the self-check assessment of episode 3. The first question is, when ammonium nitrate is dissolved in water, it becomes cold. Why? When ammonium nitrate is dissolved in water, it becomes cold because this is an endothermic reaction, which takes place with the absorption of heat from the surroundings and shows a fall in the temperature. And due to this property, ammonium nitrate in water is used as an instant cold pack. The next question is, write a balanced chemical equation for photochemical reaction and exothermic reaction. A photochemical reaction is a chemical reaction which proceeds with the absorption of light energy. For example, photodecomposition of silver salts. So if we take silver nitrate in the presence of light, it will decompose to silver and nitrogen dioxide with evolution of oxygen gas. The next part is exothermic reaction, which is a reaction which proceeds with evolution of heat energy. For example, burning of fossil fuels. We all know that fossil fuels are carbon compounds. So when carbon burns in the presence of oxygen, it forms carbon dioxide and huge amount of heat is released. So this is an example of exothermic reaction. The next question is, what is the main requirement for a chemical reaction to occur? Explain why temperature increases the rate of chemical reaction. For a chemical reaction to occur, the particles of chemical substances needs to collide, and the collisions must be strong enough to bring about the chemical reaction. On increasing the temperature, the kinetic energy of the particles increases, and hence the number of collisions also increases, which leads to the increase in the rate of the reaction. For example, when potassium nitrate is heated, it forms potassium nitride and oxygen. This reaction is possible in the presence of heat, where the reactant molecules starts colliding with each other more randomly and at a faster rate. The next question is, give an example where a positive catalyst brings about a chemical reaction. Now, positive catalyst accelerates the chemical reactions without themselves undergoing any chemical change. Vanadium pentoxide acts as a positive catalyst as it increases the rate of combination of sulfur dioxide and oxygen to form sulfur trioxide. In this equation, you can see that sulfur dioxide is reacting with oxygen in the presence of vanadium pentoxide and forms SO3 or sulfur trioxide. Here, vanadium pentoxide is not undergoing any chemical change in this reaction. Hence, it acts as a positive catalyst. With this, we come to the end of this chapter. Hope the elementals of this chapter is deeply embedded. But still, if you have any queries or doubts, do post in the comment section. And if you have any suggestions for our channel, feel free to post that as well. And don't forget to subscribe the channel and like our videos. Meet you in the next video with a new episode. Till then, take care and study hard.